Google, turn on the opposite light 1%. Go. And my camera's not behaving like usual. Let's see. Utterly hilarious. Okay, we're gonna go with that then. Welcome everybody back to another stream of Karate Master 2 Knockdown Blow. Good to see everybody on this 8th of August. Let's get the volume back up on this. Yeah, so it won't blow my head off. Beautiful. Okay, let's get in it. Okay, we last left our rather hard-headed karateka here. We had just made some fame, made some money. We went and tried to close down the Cobra Kai dojo. We're going to save real quick, and we have 3 trainings left, so we're going to do some training. I want to do some speed. Speed, I've definitely always been, even as I've gotten older, definitely a speed kills kind of guy. Let's get some adjustment here. Still looking pretty good. Nope. There we go. Okay, let's do the tennis ball. Now, the best thing to do with this is you want to hit it as many times as possible. So if I get right about here and just keep tapping it with my foot, oh. You kind of want to be like right here so I don't kick it too far and it keeps coming back. I can keep tapping it, which is totally not how you're supposed to train with a tennis ball. But I'm about getting experience, not about providing a realistic training experience. Actually, I've never trained with a tennis ball, so I don't even know what they're supposed to be doing here. Whether it's supposed to be a corn bag type thing or a dodging thing, or if I'm supposed to hit it and it's supposed to come back quickly and I hit it again. But the physics ain't quite there here in this game. There we go. Big kick. There we go. Got the juggle. Oh. 71 experience. That'd be enough to take me to 5. So we're going to do that again. Next I can do water drops. But this really is the best way to get experience. For speed. I can hit the damn thing. here. Yes. Also kind of funny how when it comes back, you can hit it multiple times and it won't go forward. Use the front high kick to stop the ball. Oh, and miss it because I'm spacing out. I'll have to go on YouTube and see about striking training with a tennis ball. What we're really supposed to be doing here. Ah, 84. That's still pretty good. Okay. I misspelled strength. And I found out it's made by an Italian developer, I think. Not Romanian, this game. Okay, one more training left. Let's go. Save them back. Let's get our critical up. Oh, yeah. This crosshair is moving everywhere, and I'm trying to keep it towards the center. Keep going. Ah. Punching a concrete bag. Sounds like a bad idea. Okay. So, let's go do a warm-up match here. I gotta get 80 film to go to that gym. 60 fame to go to that gym. 60 fame to go close out Chuck Norris's stuff. 30 fame to go to Taekwondo Club. 40 fame for that dojo. 50 fame. Dojo Karate Cobra. A school founded on military discipline basis. Toughness and ruthlessness are its main features. Strike hard, strike fast, no mercy. Okay. Satu Seiken. I'm so much faster now. KO. Got him blown out that quickly. Hey, how's it? Guy's actually shorter than me, so I'm gonna take advantage of my height difference. Go straight to the body. Ooh. Maybe that strength training helped out here. That was a quick match. On to the finals. Hey, how's it? Same height, so I think I want to go body kicks. Hi. Not going to check these? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I gotta stop it from me, but that's okay. Stats went up, and I've got a nice warm up. So, let's do a little bit of talking about the Karate Kid. Now, I know that since the Karate Kid came out, there's been a Netflix series that came out, and a bunch of people trying to reframe the Karate Kid as. That's weird. I pause and it goes into a weird state. Let me see if I can expand the window. Okay, I guess not. Anyways, people trying to reframe Daniel LaRusso as protagonist from the original Karate Kid in 1984 as being a villain of some sort. And by the writers and directors' admission, they tried to have Daniel LaRusso have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. But I'm trying to imagine a universe where anybody could, in their right mind, could argue that the guys from Cobra Kai weren't a bunch of bullies, weren't out there getting into fights and starting shit because they could. Using their fighting skills to beat up random people way beneath their skill level. So, I don't know what they were thinking there. But Pat Morita, who played Mr. Miyagi, did 2 auditions. One in the first edition and didn't get it because the casting director and the producer still remembered him from Happy Days. And he came in without any hint of a Japanese accent. So instead he came in with a very deep Japanese accent like his uncle had. And performed it like that. And then won the part. And Toshiro Mifune from, Akira Kurosawa's movies in Japan also auditioned for it, but they felt he was too serious. It was too serious of an actor, and he was playing too serious of a character on his take of Mr. Miyagi for it to work. What's the other things that people mentioned? A lot of people like to say that the head kick that Daniel LaRusso hits with from the crane kick, so to speak, a switch stance high front kick was illegal because it made contact to the face. Well, it depends on what or karate organization was in. It seemed to be more of a Shotokan style, full contact, but light, not full contact. No, I don't really call it full contact. Light contact tournament where you wear no gloves, no protection, and you're allowed to make contact with tight control. But they do take considerations for people, the motion people are making, with Johnny basically coming straight in with like a huge lunge as he throws the kick. They didn't show him knocked out, but that contact would have been incidental and it wouldn't have been a DQ. Unless it was like a no contact event, which it didn't seem to be. Now, the whole thing with sweeping the legs being illegal, it's hard to find a karate tournament in any sort of rule set that doesn't make sweeping the legs are completely illegal. Unless I haven't seen the movie in a while. I don't know if he was grabbing one leg and sweeping the other. That is illegal in some styles. A lot of karate styles don't want to let you grapple. Also, because a lot of the competitions are done in hardwood, they don't want you doing throws or any sort of takedowns or any sort of sweeps. So, like any sort of like grappling sweeps where you could possibly come down on somebody, but like knocking somebody off their feet is completely legit, and attacking below the waist is usually completely legit. So I don't know. I mean, you're not going to get much score even in those point like contact Shotokan style or now Olympic style karate. You're not going to get much points for attacking the legs. You generally want to deliver a controlled punch to the body or the head, which is unfortunate because, as I'm going to discuss a little bit later, and as I've been showing in this game, and as those who are familiar with different fight sport, attacking the legs, kicking the legs is a huge component and can very easily end a fight. Even more so than say like body shots or headshots. I mean, headshots you can get a one hit knockout. Yeah, sure, but few things are more attritional than leg kicks. Like some people are just completely iron jawed, iron in the body. You blast them in the liver, and they just laugh at you. But not very many people are very well conditioned in the leg, especially if you attack the rear leg, because most people have a stance where one leg's forward and one leg's not. So most people develop conditioning, get their mind used to the pain of getting kicked in the lead leg. But even among the Thais and Kyokushinkai guys and Oriental rules kickboxing, where they allow kicks to the legs, most people still aren't conditioned to taking a kick to the back leg, which is your rear leg in your stance. So, I'm not entirely sure what that rule was, but it's a movie, and a rather silly movie at that. So, yeah, they had over 500 extras for the crowd and for the karate tournament. The martial arts body double, also the technical advisor for the fight scenes, fight choreography, Demura, the stuntmen were complaining about him hitting them too hard, and it was blowing some takes. So he came back when he got complaints. He said, "Well, how about just have my students suit up as the attackers, and we'll do the scene." And they got through it in like 2 takes. No complaints from the students about getting hit. But that's a common complaint you'll hear a lot. I remember when they did a Shaw style kung fu movie scene for one of the Wu-Tang Clan's music videos, and they were complaining about this Wu-Tang Clan member blasting stuntmen a little too hard. And I mean, Bruce Lee used to get complaints about that. That's why he got tuned up by Gene LeBell, 1950s world champion in judo, and one of the first Americans to fight MMA. Very, very tough guy. And yeah, Bruce was, as shown in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Bruce was dropping the hammer on stuntmen, and there were complaints on stuntmen. Now, I will say this: I am not a fan of Bruce Lee at all. I think a lot of the hype around him is manufactured. I'm much more impressed by his student and true ambassador and student of martial arts, Denny Inosanto. But Bruce Lee working in Hollywood in the United States as a Chinese American, having to deal with a bunch of bigoted American stuntmen who are not used to working in this style. They're used to working in a um, Western movie, a saloon punch up type of martial arts type of fight scene or a Batman type fight scene. They're going to be taking the cues completely different than the um, Hong Kong style choreography you would see in Hong Kong by the Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest, where back in the '70s they would have someone on the side, off camera, with a pair of sticks or wood blocks, and would go clack 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 to give people the cues to go through their moves of high, low, block, sweep, punch, punch, back up, that sort of thing. So it's much different than that. So maybe he was blasting him. I don't know if Bruce Lee was huge into cocaine at that point. I know the Bruce Lee estate finally released the rest of his letters, and it's been pretty obvious that throughout the '60s and late '60s and up until his death, he was pretty heavily into cocaine and other drugs. So maybe he was coked up and blasting stuntmen. Maybe he was blasting stuntmen because they weren't listening and they were treating him like shit because he was a tiny Chinese dude. But yeah, that happens frequently. That's also, and a lot of times it's the star's fault. I mean, Steven Seagal had the same problem. He was hurting stuntmen in his movie, and Gene LaBelle choked him out and made him crap his pants. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that the Hong Kong doesn't make movies like that anymore. If you want to see good fight scenes, you have to go to Indonesia. Was Thailand for a short while there, from like the late '90s and the early 2000s. But these days, if you want good choreographed fight scenes, you got to go to Indonesia or Korea. That's where the best stuff is. Although I will say, good old Chris Strahiski, fight director and main director for John Wick, has done a very good job of producing fight choreography that accurately represents a number of styles you don't generally see on the screen that are very, very highly effective in most sport fighting, like judo and jiu-jitsu and so on and so forth. So, and I get to chuckle at Strahiski because all of us old heads out there in the shoot, what I call my shoot fam, my shoot style enthusiasts, we all remember him as Ski from the fake MMA event / pro wrestling organization called Fight Zone that was on pay-per-view back in the '90s, and they kind of marketed it as an MMA event, even though it wasn't. Well, even my dumbass was able to figure that one out, that it wasn't, because they would only charge like $7 for a pay-per-view as opposed to like 21 or 31 for the UFC or other MMA events like Mars or Extreme Fighting or World Cage Combat, which I all saw on VHS. All saw on pay-per-view and recorded on VHS. Anyways, we're gonna go in here. Hopefully, I'm gonna beat this Johnny guy here at the Cobra Kai dojo. Knock off his headband. Come on. Oh. Oof. He's very strong. You know what we do to strong people who aren't good at keeping their hands up? We jab them. You don't even get any training points for that. I just get fame, which is worth it. So, No money. So we're going to have to go put some work in at the old forklift. Am I streaming? Yeah, I'm still streaming. Okay. All right. Yep, I am live. Everything's good. Yep, sorry it's on a Wednesday. We had a long weekend here. So couldn't stream on Monday. Although, I mean, it was a bit brave of me to try to stream last Monday when I went to do judo for the first time in how many years? Almost 20, 19 years. In a lot of ways, no, that's not even accurate. In a lot of ways, I would say judo is to hardball, which jiu-jitsu is a softball, but that's not true. It's It's more like judo is to baseball, which jiu-jitsu is to cricket. That's a bit more accurate. Hey, I got $23. Sweet. Let's go cause some trouble. Beat it. Not beaten, beat it. I only have one. No. Let's go see what I can get for beating up Karate Boy again. Come on. Come and get me. Oh, right up my dome. Yeah, still can't stop a jab, can you, Johnny? Oh, 29 fame. Almost enough. Let's go try to win a tournament here. Yeah. 30, yep. Everything's uploading. Only won one Kyokushin Knockdown Karate tournament so far. I think he's a little shorter than me. Let's go to the body. Okay, I'm going to build my Kai here. You see the bar beneath my feet there? Oh, you can't actually see it because it's blocked. Well, there's one on my side as well. Oh. That little side heel kick. I don't even know what that's called. That's definitely a karate technique. You don't see that in Muay Thai. Okay, that's enough. Okay, he's about my size. Yeah, what's up now? I'm a little bloody in the face here. Legs are almost done. It's kind of like a Charlie horse for your leg. Unless you're conditioned for it, it's really hard to deal with. Let me get my camera resettled here. He's shorter than me. Immediate cut from the axe kit. Come on. Let's get away here. Oh, the range on that thing. Like I'm Andy Hug. Oh my God. What a beautiful counter. Ooh. Let's recover a little bit. It's going to move in. I'm going to hit him in the body again. Ooh, that was a war. My face is messed up. Oh, first place. That's why it was a war. All right. Let's see here. Checking the status here. Deal with me. Yeah, I'm live. That's fine. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, do a quick save. Let's go. Okay, back to the. Yeah, doing this is bringing back vivid memories of garage training with my kickboxing trained uncle from the Bahamas and us teaching ourselves boxing from manuals. Getting on the bike during Tuesday night fights on USA and riding the bike the whole time the fights are on. During the fight, ride as fast as I can. In between rounds, just kind of pedal. During the fight, ride fast as I can. Yeah. Training dumb and stupid. Just not knowing what we're doing. But it was the early 90s. None of us knew what we're doing. E5. Yeah, we were pretty into it for a while. Had a heavy bag set up, had a speed bag set up, jump roping, jumped rope so much on the pavement, my feet were bleeding. Okay. Not even on 3. Look at that, 96. At least that one's not a lot of work. 5, 4, 6. I'm just not very big into toughness. Toughness is for those who can afford it. Okay, concrete bag now. Come on, come on. Make a lot of experience in this one. Hell yeah. 5, 4, 6, 6, 4. Okay. What are we doing? Shiro Gary. Get them Gary. Clinch. That's the one. Yoko Giri. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. What do we have? Let's go beat up Johnny one more time. Give him some CTE. About my size. Bigger arms, that's for sure. What's wrong with your head? Take another nap. Like melatonin showing up on your doorstep. It's time to get some sleep. Okay. Now, close that one down. Karate Pro Gym. Former student at Shin Kyokai. I think he's a professional karateka. Oh, you're fast. What? Ooh. Hey, you should throw in the towel there, guys. I just saw a picture of a brain. That's never good. You're the best around. Nobody's gonna keep it down. You're the best around. Supposed to be for Rocky 2. But they used it for that movie because Rocky 2 didn't want it. Or an earlier version of Rocky 2, we'll say. Welcome to the water drops. Welcome to the stream, Chuck77. Hope you're doing good. Come on. What gives me the most points? Just punching it? A little late. There we go. Go early. Right by the ear. Right in line with the eyeball. As you see in the graffiti back there. Can't even look at the clock. Woo! Yeah, that's definitely not worth it. My time's better spent kicking around that tennis ball. It's a fine movie, though. I mean, it's really good stuff. Although I do get suspicious of people who are like, oh, everybody that was playing high schoolers in that movie were like older than 18. Why are you so concerned about wanting to see teenagers? Let's just not, okay? Close down that gym, close on Cobra Kai. Still can't do the boxing club yet. Can't go beat up Chuck Norris. But I can go to the Taekwondo club. So, let's talk about Taekwondo. It would be hard to describe Korea's relationship with Japan other than complex. Considering that the people who came over to Japan after the Inui and became what we call the Japanese people today, came from the Korean Peninsula and were the Jomon people, most likely. Needs to be kind of spoken for. I wouldn't really call them, I would draw a lot of comparisons between England and France, but that's inaccurate because England conquered France and France conquered England back and forth, and that never really happened. World War II and pre-World War II. Yeah. No problem, Tony. Thanks for coming in. Casting Body Flies random tonight. I didn't realize you were streaming last night. Oh, yeah, catch a VOD. I'll put it on Google. I'll put it on YouTube probably by Friday. I'll have to put some, because when I put the YouTube version up for the last stream, I went and put a bunch of appropriate graphics up during the history part. So once again, we're in the history part. So Korea and Japan, yeah. Korea became kind of a subject state like Ukraine. I will say, yeah, it was a lot like Ukraine and the United States and Russia until 2014. And then Imperial Japan pushed from Korea into Manchuria, had Manchuria around 1932. I said that the founder of Kyokushin Karate, Oyama, was born when Imperial China already had Manchuria, but that was not exactly true. That kind of happened when he was growing up. Yeah, Japan's always been up in Korea's business. So, and there were some really horrifying atrocities that were committed by Japan in Korea. And yeah, they still hold a lot of grudges about that, which is understandable. Most of pretty much everybody from Thailand follow the Pacific coast all the way up into Korea has a hard hate on for what happened during World War II. So, but not that Korea doesn't have its own problems. The whole reason the Korean War happened was because the Korean people as a whole were voting for becoming a socialist state. I mean, all of Korea. And the landlord in Epstein class threw a fit, and that started a Korean War. So it's best to remember that Korea did not have free elections until 1987. People were not allowed to leave that country until the 90s, and even until like the mid 90s, unless you were 45 years or older, you were not allowed to leave that country. You couldn't even go on vacation. Like vacation for the South Korean people was going to one of the islands off the coast of mainland Korea. So and I'll tell you this much. Everything that's happening in the West right now, with all the talk about birth rates and how women need to learn their place from the right wingers, and all this stuff that's kind of like pushed fascism to the fore here in the States. All that's happening in Korea, like cubed. They are an extremely everybody in South Korea gets cosmetic surgery as their graduation gift. On your resume, you have you put a paper clip with a picture of yourself on there. You're expected to work incredibly long hours for not much money. Women are. I thought Japan was bad with its treatment for women, but Korea treats its women even worse. And that's the reason why their birth rate's at 1.2, and it's only getting worse. And it's a cap. I call what's going on, like the United States and like Britain and so on, like a capitalist hellscape. We are at the kiddie ride of capitalism compared to what's going on in Korea and what's still going on in Korea. And yeah, he didn't want. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, one of my friends. I mean, Japan's kind of in the same boat. My friend had a kid who had ADHD in Japan, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we treat ADHD with vitamins." He's like, "I gotta get my kid out of here. They're not gonna succeed in Japan." So anyways, relating to martial arts, there's an ancestral style called Cicerum, which is kind of like a sumo style of grappling, not too unlike Koresh, not too unlike any number of the jacketed and belted wrestling styles you see anywhere where Genghis Khan was doing stuff. So, but three major styles you see in Korea are Taekwondo and Tang Sudo and Hapkido. And all those are relatively modern styles. I mean, karate is relatively a modern style. Karate really didn't exist before the 19th century, before the mid 1800s. And really, as far as karate being codified and being taught anywhere outside of Okinawa, you did not see it until like 1905. So it pretty much, I mean, judo happened around 1890 into the 1910s, and that was the progression of the grappling fighting arts that came from the samurai. Because one of the things you'll see both in Japan and in the West, back when people fought with swords, is the people who had armor had to learn how to wrestle, because once you get a good set of armor, it's really hard to be killed. You can't just hack through their armor. You can't just stab through their armor. If you have a good set, if you are in the 15th, 16th century, you have a good set of riveted mail and some decent pauldrons and leg protection. The only way you're going to get killed is someone pulling you off your horse and sticking a knife in through your helmet into your eyeball. And it was much the same for the Japanese. Even with their wicker and laminated steel armor, they didn't have. Japan has always had a problem with their steel. They've always had low quality steel, so they didn't have giant plates of armor. They had lamellar armor, leather with metal bands, stuff you saw in the like Sumeria. That's how old it was, but they didn't have a lot of steel, so a lot of their steel was made from iron sand, and it was very low quality. And they concentrated that steel making into making weapons and swords. And one of the reasons why katanas became such a big thing is that the West abandoned using swords for main combat in the 16th century, 16th century, 17th century, we'll say. And Japan was still using swords into the 19th century. So they still had a living sword martial art at that point. So that's something the West didn't have. And they still had people making swords. So when USGIs and so on were exposed to honestly the cheap swords that the cheap katanas that the Japanese officers were carrying during World War II, then came the all the talk about katanas cutting through machine gun barrels and all this other nonsense. No, it's a saber. It's not even a very well constructed saber. The katana it's a two-handed saber. That's all it is. It's meant for cutting, not meant for thrusting. Built in a way to take advantage of what little steel they had. So on and so forth. But anyways, coming back to Korea here. I'm getting off the subject once again. Taekwondo was influenced by the Korean karate influence that came over during World War II. And Tang Sudo, so it's a lot of linear techniques. Taekwondo really, after World War II, Taekwondo was more of a complete art that had both punches and kicks, a lot of linear techniques, a lot of jumping techniques, acrobatic stuff. People tried to retcon it in that they learned these jumping kicks to kick people off of horses. It's all nonsense, anyways. Tang Sudo was more influenced by the northern Chinese styles of kung fu. Northern Chinese styles are known for acrobatics, long sweeping circular motions, high kicks, so on and so forth. So Taekwondo influenced by karate. And then as Taekwondo was pushing to become a Olympic art, there were two major organizations, the ITF, International Taekwondo Federation, and I forget the other one. Well, WTF, yeah, World Taekwondo Federation, and I forget which one won, but the more sportive one won. And the silliest thing that makes me laugh so hard is that within Olympic Taekwondo, there are no rules for scoring punches. So if after I throw a kick, I blast someone off their feet with a body shot, because we're just going to assume it's a karate style, so we can't punch to the head. There's no rules for scoring that. So a lot of the Olympic style Taekwondo doesn't even really train punches other than the kata. Much like in judo, there's striking techniques in judo, but it's only contained in the kata. We don't do it we don't do it on the mat, and we don't do it in Shiai during competition. So Tang Sudo is what Chuck Norris learned, And again, as I mentioned in the previous video, a lot of Americans picked up karate and taekwondo and so on during the Korean War and during the post-war occupation of Japan and Korea and so on during the rebuilding period. And they were exposed to these arts because, well, one of the big unspoken things about being in the military is that once you're on deployment, or even when you're like in a war zone on deployment, there's a lot of boredom. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff just not happening. A lot of time you're spent twiddling your thumbs and so on and so forth. So, especially Marines and Army, and they'll go find trouble, and young men will find roughneck trouble. So that's how Chuck Norris got into it. He learned Tang Sudo, also trained with the American karate people who learned styles like Goju Ryu and learned Shotokan and learned other Okinawan styles before Kyokushin was created in like 1958 and then started rising in the province in 1960. So, I mean, that's also why you don't see this hard knockdown style karate that much in the United States, because we were already, it's almost like populations and like competition, that the Americans already learned this non-knockdown style of karate, and it already filled on all the ecological niches with the United States. And then those who were doing that, you're always going to find people, especially heavyweights, who don't want to play the speed-based points game, where it's like, yeah, this guy got in and tapped me in the chest. He won the game. But I don't think that would have hurt me. Whereas if I would have blasted him with full strength, he would have went down. So that led into the development of what we call American full contact karate, which quickly became PKA style kickboxing, or long pants kickboxing, where you're wearing boxing gloves or these weird foam dipped gloves and feeties, and you got to kick above the waist. You got to kick so many times around, or you lose the round. You got to get 3 kicks in the round, and you fight to the knockout. That's like the big distinction between full contact and non-contact. If you can be knocked out if you can knock somebody out and win, that's a full contact style. That's like the number one line right there. If I knock somebody out and I get disqualified, that is not a full contact style. That's pretty much the rules. And it's funny because the Olympic Taekwondo is still technically full contact, because you can win by a KO. It's not encouraged, but the Olympic karate, which they just introduced as an introductory sport, if you knock somebody out, that's an X. You're gone. You're kicked out. So anyways, Taekwondo is mostly concentrating on kicks, a very up and down bouncy style, a lot of being light on the feet so you can rotate and turn and throw rotating kicks, throw spin kicks, change and move angles. It's kind of like how a boxer will like move their hands a bit when they're moving around in the ring, because they want to create lots of little movements. So I'm not telegraphing what I'm doing unless I stop before I throw. But yeah, you're making lots of small movements, little feints, and then you can throw with either hand. So we'll see how they represent it in here. And you can see the different type of gi. It's a sewn together gi. I forget what they call it. But big thing is they're not used to getting punched in the face. All that talk just to get blown out in less than 5 seconds. How it goes sometimes. Fame 40. Let's go do some more speed. And this is the best one, really. Oh, it looks like I saw one of the later ones. I'm gonna have to go get a song that the algorithm won't detect by Quantum Projects. Aim for the Flickering Flame. DJ Shadow and Quantum Projects. Latirix Born. Latif the Truth Speaker. Yeah, if anybody's watching this later, check out Quantum Project's BBC Breeze Block mix. Fantastic hip hop. What we consider old school now, but ooh, so good. I Changed My Mind and Aim for the Flickering Flame are my two favorite tracks off the thing. Yeah, this who was it? Is it Bonobo or I can't remember his name. It may have been Bonobo or it might have been somebody else. Helped DJ Shadow recover all his old floppies and restore his MPC 60 for the 30th anniversary of the absolutely fabulous, the dark side of the moon of electronic music and instrumental hip hop, and DJ Shadow's introducing. He has it up on his Instagram. It's fantastic. And I'll have to show what I just picked up for my celebratory purchase. Distracted by music here. Speed kills. Okay. Let's see what kind of trouble I can find on the streets. All right. Got 40 fame. So let's see if there's anybody I can go to. Ooh, traditional karate do. Masters dojos in his 40s. Not a prankster. Certainly adopts the traditional style. But he's lately approached full contact karate. Because, yeah, that's something else that also happened a lot in once the Kyokushin style came. It gave a lot of styles who people always want to try to test themselves. People always want to test themselves. If you take a very good basketball player and you said, hey, you want to go on the court with Michael Jordan and see how you measure up, even though you know you might lose, everybody's going to take that. Almost every basketball player is going to take that opportunity. You get to play against Michael Jordan one-on-one in his prime. Except with this, you got catastrophic consequences to losing a match. But still, a lot of these guys who didn't have, a lot of these karate styles that didn't have the avenue to test themselves, so suddenly had a new avenue to test themselves. So a lot of them came into competing in this style using their own personal flavor of karate to go against people who were training in this style 24/7. And let me say, historically, it never went well. But anyways, I need to go get a drink. I'm going to put this on pause, and I'll be back in 5. Thank you.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your own check stub.
Let me see your check stub.
Get your
Oh, I could tell it's been a little while since I've got back into the narration mood here. So my apologies for the breaks and the ums and so on and so forth. I'm still working on it. Also, I had a El Sombrero, which is 4 ounces of pineapple juice, 4 ounces of ginger beer, 3 dashes of ginger bitters, and 2 ounces of mezcal. It's called the El Sombrero. Fantastic. But I am possibly a little inebriated. My apologies. So, 60. Traditional karate. I'm going to go close that one down. At 50, I can go to this one. Shinkaioku Discipline. Lefty organization open its own full contact dojo. Yes, that's also something that happened, which I will talk about later. I'm going to have to change the information here because we're probably not going to get to Muay Thai this time. So we're going to talk about. We're going to call this one. We're going to call this one Karate Master 2. Bloody Sunrise. Imperial Japan. I went a little deep into the, there we go. Went a little deep into the history there. So, let's continue on. Come on, I would like to move. You just crash. Okay, I guess I gotta fight. Sometimes you open a door to a building and you gotta go fight in a tournament. You know it's a good kick when you make base face. How do I want to finish you this time? How about an axe kick? Oh, you can do an axe kick too, huh? Hit you to the top of the head so hard your lips bleeding. Oh, spin kick. Yeah. Look at that crowd. Oh, look at that blown out head. I'm gonna block your face. Makes me feel a little better after getting my butt kicked yesterday in jiu-jitsu. Whew. Big blind spot. Got a big blind spot in my jiu-jitsu right now because I don't accept bottom side mount. I go to turtle. But we had a drill being in bottom side mount. That sucked. Oh boy, Willie Williams. Here we go. Okay. How am I going to beat this guy? I'm going to kick him in the legs. Jesus. Okay, that's enough. Gotta recover. Gotta recover. Gotta recover. Hands up, hands down. Muscle injury. Sometimes you open a door. Sometimes you open a door and you get kicked in the head by a giant black dude. That's what happens. Oh, that was hilarious. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. Checker state. Fame 40. Okay. Oh, the fighting's okay. But the comedy's definitely worth it. Traditional critique emphasizes limb conditioning, probably to be able to crush 3 bricks stacked with only 1 shuto. Just the knife hand. Oh, this guy's huge. I think I'm going to kick his legs. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think kicking his legs is definitely the play. Definitely do not want to get into a leg blasting fight. I mean, a body blasting fight. Look at the size of his hands. They're like yaoi, yaoi protagonist. Well, I wouldn't say protagonist. Yaoi top hands here. There you go. Walk around with a limp for a week. Sure, no one here knows what I'm talking about. Just look up yaoi hands and know your meme. At $3. Yeah, $3. When in doubt, train speed. I'm more of a Yuri fan. But who isn't? Toxic Yuri. I think I got it. Yes. Like playing hacky sack. If I actually had a audience, they would know what I was talking about. That's fine. Although I hear the new hotness these days is manhwa. Again. Come on. I can't turn around. Ah, 88. I'll take it. 5-7. 5-5-7-6-4. Hello, Hotspot Huntress. I seem to have 3 whole dollars in my pocket, or 3 whole karate money in my pocket. So maybe I do have to go back to working at the docks. But what I'm really trying to do is I want to do prize fights. Then I won't need to work anymore. Instead of paying to go fight, they pay me to fight. So I've closed down this gym. 1, 2, 3. No. 4, closing the Taekwondo club. I could beat the traditional karate do. Okay. Very interesting how they're represented in different styles. But whew. Hi. Came into your dojo and closed it down. Came into your dojo, closed it down. Not what actually happens. But it is kind of what happens. It's complicated. So beat that one. Beat that. No, that one's still on the deck. Oh, I can't wait to this one. So I guess I'll probably be talking about pro wrestling before I get to Muay Thai. I go to the Budokan. Anything goes. No protective equipment. Money 20, but I win 70. Puroresu, yes. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. We get to talk about good old skunk-haired Fujiwara, the bodyguard of Antonio Inoki. Afro-American karateka fights so hard he might have dynamite in his hands. And then, kumate. Okay, gotta get to 50. So I guess Hotspot Huntress is right. Time for the forklift. Man, I hope nothing's dangerous in these things, because the way I do this is kind of dangerous. Yep, Shenmue any percentage. Speed run. I keep thinking, oh, Shenmue's seminal, and I really should play that game to get used to it. Yeah, it should be QWOP style. Oh, God. QWOP. Someone needs to make a QWOP martial arts game. Not like I don't experience it enough on whenever we have noobs coming to the gym. Although, I almost paid for my playfulness Tuesday. We had some new guys come in, some young athletic kids, and always let them take really good positions and put me in like submissions and so on before I get out and beat them, and then show them how to do the submission they were trying to do. But one guy took my back and like immediately went for like not even a rear naked choke like this. He went for like a good old short choke, a Dan Severn as the vernacular goes. And I didn't have my hands up. I didn't have my hands up defensively in time, and had to block that mofo with my chin for about 30 seconds there. So that was fun. Gums are a little sore right here still from having some brush against my face like this. But eventually weaseled my hand in there and then made it so he's choking my wrist instead of choking my gums. Weaseled out, escaped. Got to mount an armbar like usual. So, but almost caught me slipping. Oh, and our training. Let's go training. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do the frozen water training. In the waterfall. Ooh. That timing is really tight. $86, I'll take it. Not very happy about getting worse toughness. I don't want to be tough. Toughness is for suckers. Ah, so close to 50 fame. I guess that knows what it means. Let's go do another tournament. Are you low-key drowning? Maybe. I think I want to win by head kick this time. There we go. And I know Hotspot Huntress likes the axe kick. Again, another technique you're not supposed to use when you're training in Muay Thai or kickboxing. The axe. See, high kick. Yep, see, they're chambering the kick still. Shouldn't chamber your kicks. That's definitely a karate thing. There are some small advantages to it. Okay, we're just gonna relax. Axe kick you in the head. It's like instant cut. That's so realistic. Just like real life. Ooh. Let's breathe and recover. Breathe and recover. Breathe and recover. Man. I gotta win this one. Okay, let's back up. His head is wrecked. Oh, it was wrecked. Oh, axe kick to the eyeball. I think I'm going to win by black mass this time. Black mass. Oh. Seem to be bleeding. Oh, now I'm bleeding. Talk too fast. Spoke too soon. Oh, no. No. Oh. My brain. You don't get any fame for losing. Only for winning. Well, time to go. Time to go show up at some dojos and bully some people. Hey, buddy. And take out my anger on you, because you get paid for losing at the pro wrestling gym. True. The fix for concussions is the forklift. Don't say that too loud. RFK's gonna hear you. Brand new concussion and CTE treatment for soldiers. Go get in the forklift. The cure for CTE is rolling back OSHA and workers' health rules. That's the cure. I'll go do a helmet. I'm glad they don't have any athletic commissions here. Like, yeah, you got locked up yesterday. Go do an art tournament where you can get punched in the head. Call me Head Punch King. This game's so funny. Best gears for your protection. Night. It's probably 90. One heart, one goal, one world. Karate Do. Nope. Went down to Kronk Gym. Worked with Emmanuel Stewart how to get a good jab. And I'm going to abuse you guys with it. Oh, look, I have a jab too. It's not just a right cross. My ribs. I got murdered. I swear to game hears me talking smack. There we go. Look at that. Quick trip to the hospital. Everything's fine. What did Ultraman wear a gi? Well, don't they all wear gis? Okay. Yeah, see how he's bouncing up and down on his feet? Hands down low. Should mostly throw kicks. And like completely different kicks. There's like a upper thrust kick he's throwing. He's actually throwing some punches. Okay, that's enough. I feel like such a bully. Again, he has a long stance. Right. His rear hand held at the ready. Other hand out. But he's got legs like everybody else, and he ain't blocking the kicks. Oh, now he is. Okay. One win by uppercut. There we go. Oh, 50. Yes. I get another stack. Oh, I think I can get to fight for money now. Oos. Oos. You know, Kate is very upset. She's sure you're going to go fight a bull. Ha! I said to her it was impossible. You're on a madman. Sweat. However, I said to her I didn't know anything about that, and suddenly she was hopping against me. Oh, so you're so informed? No more mess around. Let's go. Oos. Where can I go fight a bull? The special event, the bull. Now, it's important to go show this. This is a reference to, as I've stated before, Oyama chopping the horns off a bull. They were small steers. The horns were doctored, pre-cut, glued back on. Everybody shows the videos without fail, so. No, we're not going to show his page because that guy's a weirdo. Okay. Utter ridiculousness. Okay, hang on. So yeah, he's just wrestling a bull. Cowboys do that all the time. It's a bunch of carny nonsense. But, more accurately, what are you doing to that bull? More accurately. It's a reference to this. Okay. This game's called Karate Master 2, so a reference to the original Karate Champ game by Data East.
I've not mastered the bull.
Where you got to stop the bull with one punch.
Explaining earlier that I had
This game was supposedly made by the developers of Double Dragon
Gotcha, you stupid bull.
and so on. Double Dragon, River City Ransom, Renegade, Techno. So I should have wore their shirt instead of wearing this. Anyways, let's get back to it. So we're going to fight a bull, Karate Master 2 style, whatever that might be. Forget how I did this last time. Yes. Oh boy. Ah. Thought I had it. Honey, what? Are you going mad? No, I was distracted for a while. Don't worry. Oh, God, I understood my mistake. Next time, all should be well. see this loser. He's such a loser. Why is he in the hospital? Oh, you know, Billy tried to fight a bull again. Oh, this was actually pretty difficult to heal from. What do you do when you don't succeed? Oh, I got some training left. What I clearly need is more spiritual power. Breathe the water. You are more spiritual. You are more spiritually powerful than this frozen lake. A hard wider stains my pants now. Okay. What do we do if we don't succeed? We go right back to fighting the bull. And then I'll talk about there we go. I gotta be a little early. Took a little body damage there. There we go. Yeah, what's up now? Oh, nope. Earlier. Nope, earlier. Oh boy. And the Ferdinand is this. Oh, just the usual. Oh, I didn't have to go to the hospital after that one. Okay, one last try. I think I almost have it. Yes. Now we will have barbecue. So I'm going to do one little more cover here, thing to discuss. And that's something that the Kyokushin fans don't like to talk about was Oyama came to the United States in 1952. From 1952 and 1953, he toured with a Japanese pro wrestler by the name of Togo. And he was with another karateka, and they would do karate demonstrations during, in the intermissions during pro wrestling matches. He would knife hand chop, hands off bottles, break bricks, break boards, and so on. And as I stated before, he allegedly knocked out 270 people, never lost a fight. There's no evidence of this. None of it was ever talked about. Whether he actually did any matches, pro wrestling matches, seems leaning towards no, but there is some details in dispute. But he definitely was part of the carny circuit that is pro wrestling. and was working the marks. And I mean, basically introducing so many people to the art of karate, his own style that he still was developing. This is before he developed his own style. And yeah, he would go and do basically carnival tricks. So when he came back to Japan after this year and a half of touring as a pro wrestler, as like not as a pro wrestler, touring with a pro wrestling troupe as like the manager of a pro wrestler, um, doing Bobby Heenan type stuff. He came back to Japan and started doing demonstrations there. That's when he was fighting the bulls, chopping their horns off, and wanted to try to fight a tiger at one time, but he couldn't. He couldn't get it arranged, and it was all these carnival, like Carney working the marks, trying to fool people, creating this artificial myth of the man whose hand, the God hand, the man whose hand is so strong that it can kill a bull in one blow. And before the '90s, before the '80s, and the invention of VHS video cameras and so on, it was hard to record these things. So it was still kind of the era of myth. People talked about these things and said they heard these things. My uncle saw this, and my grandmaster trained with, but unfortunately, much like with Thailand and Thailand's, which I'll cover much later, Thailand's connection with it being a sport and it being a sport that was gambled on, much like boxing. That's why we know so much about boxing records and who beat who all the way back into the 20s and the 1910s, because it was in the newspapers. It was being gambled on. It was being recorded. And it wasn't like this for what was going on in karate and various dojo wars and dojo invasions and things I heard, and the Black Dragon Society and Count Dante and all that sort of stuff. It's a long line of myth, and luckily the internet age has dispelled a lot of it. A lot of myths have been put in their rightful place. A lot of the garbage has been put in the bin where it belongs. So, that's a good thing to have, because we train smarter now. We don't give grandmasters and so on overinflated regard for the things they never actually did. So, at least that's good. That makes me happy to know that we've gotten to that point now. But, there's still some people out there that want to be worked. There's still some people out there who, well, modern politics aside, watch the UFC and say, oh, I wish it was the old style versus style. I miss the old style versus style days. I miss the karate guy versus the kung fu guy. Well, the problem is that none of those guys could fight. Only the people doing the fight sport could fight, and only those who were like very well versed in ground fighting could end up doing it, because you can watch any sort of fight, like even in Thailand, where they love clinching and they love grabbing. How many times people end up on the ground? It's just what happens. Staying off the ground is very, very hard. So that's what led to that. And the people who couldn't do that because of, like modern ground grappling only really developed after judo, and a little bit later, and after, to be honest, this is disgusting to say, but after the invention of antibiotics, because we didn't understand germ theory, and people would get infections in their eyes, and I forget what it was called, but people who would wrestle back late 19th century, early 20th centuries would get basically bacterial infections from the mats because they couldn't clean them correctly, because they didn't understand that they were covered in germs, and they'd get infections in their eyes because they get rashes that would go up there, and your eyes are part of your brain that's exposed. So, ground grappling was a little bit dangerous at that point because you could get crippled the rest of your life. Now, there were people who were doing catch wrestling, true, and that led to pro wrestling because, like I said, there's three ways you can go. You can either get to the point where you say, we want to do this all the time and get paid, so let's make it work. Or, we can go back to not doing it full power and just rely on myth, which no longer works. Or we can do it for real all the time and deal with the terrible consequences. So, anyways, coming back here. Yeah. So that's what the bowl is in reference to, because it was just a carnival trick. Excuse me. By a man who learned it from the best and learned it from the North American and Western European style carnivals, where they'd have strong men. And strong men would say, anybody here who can pin me and hold me down on the ground for a count of 10 will win $100. But I will get into that once we cover the pro wrestling. So I have one more training left. We're going to do a little bit more training. We're going to work on some tree trunk work. Yes. Toughen that body. Keep hitting that tree. Yeah, this is part of body toughening exercises. I remember I used to take a rattan stick and strike my shins and then roll the stick against my shins to deaden the nerves to get used to kicking other people's shins and kicking elbows and knees and not freaking out from the pain. Problem is that these things have consequences. Sure, your bones grow tougher through the impact, but it also leads to arthritis later in life and walking like an old man when you're in your 30s. Okay. 4 strength, 4 toughness, 6 speed, 5 taikate, and 5 ki, kai, chi, spiritual power. Let's finish the night off with doing a Fame 50. This guy left our organization, so we're going to make him pay. Mostly by punching him in the nose. Ooh, good block. Oh, brain shock. Black mass. Another gym down. And nice little garden in the back, too. 52. All right. It's 11 o'clock. It's time to wrap. I'm going to have a lot of fun trying to source all the images. I'm going to need to put this up on YouTube, but maybe I'll just leave it up. I'll just do a few images so I can at least show World War II. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for coming in. Tony, Hotspot Huntress, Chuck, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for commenting. Everyone, have a very good week. And for those who can, get out there and train. See you in the next stream.